American Indian relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Your heart beats for generations. Take care of it.
There's a lot that we can do to take care of ourselves. And so I think it's important to take the smaller steps and break it down into more manageable pieces, because the little steps leads to big changes.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. For Indigenous women, taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Let's protect that story. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
They'll challenge your authority because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, and in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 34. Then on Tuesday, partly sunny with a high of 52. AM 950 is celebrating 15 years of Matt McNeil on March 30th, and you're invited. Join us at Crooner Supper Club in Fridley from 2 to 5 for an unforgettable celebration. Head over to am950radio.com right now to get your tickets.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Cody Cup, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, Dega, you are right. This portion of the show is supported by JS Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff keeps us awake.
Hey, you know, I love their dark roast. And it's really dark. And did you know that, like, the darker the roast, or I should say the lighter the roast, the stronger the coffee? Did you know that?
Is it the lighter? I would have not thought that.
Isn't that weird? But I like the taste of dark coffee, and
yeah.
And I'm old now, Haley, so I only do about like a quarter of a cup, and then I'm wired.
Yeah, I enjoy that coffee too. Unfortunately, I got to add all those sweeteners and stuff.
Well, and I always thought you were sweet enough, but you got to do what you got to. Yes, you got to do what you got to do. Hey, what a heck of a weekend too! And I just came from the Capitol, Haley, and a lot going on at the Minnesota Capitol, and along with tomorrow, there's going to be in Wisconsin the State of the Tribes, and that's always very cool. And those are streamed and it's good, you know, but all the tribes are saying the same thing. They're worried about what's happening nationally, and they want to remind everyone of Article 6, that we're sovereign nations, and that they've promised Native communities all over Turtle Island certain things, and they haven't given what they've promised, and now they want to take away more. So everyone's on red alert, but everyone's also talking about, we've gone through this before, Haley.
Yeah. Yeah, resilient experts for sure. And as I think Robert Lilligren touched on this last week, but this is kind of an example or an opportunity for us to lead as Native people, leading in a good way and in the correct way. And you mentioned you were at the Minnesota State Capitol today, and that was they were celebrating
Sovereignty. Yeah.
Sovereignty Day at the
Thank
Capitol.
you.
Yeah,
Because I had to
yeah.
look it up. I forgot. And I was there. So I'm glad
It's
you
okay,
knew.
a lot going on, like you said, it's
Yeah.
hard to remember, but sovereignty isn't just a concept for us. Sovereignty isn't just a one day thing where we recognize it as Native people. It's the foundation of all of our Native nations, our right to govern, our right to be our own political entity within a nation itself, and a right to protect our lands and preserve our cultures too. So I think I think I heard a speech someone in the Capitol today, and they were talking about how us as even non-Native people in Minnesota, we're all treaty people. We all have obligations
Yeah.
to learn the treaties, respect the treaties, enforce the treaties, make sure that we're, following those. And I think Mary Kunesh said this on the show last week, but every representative or every senator, covers a district in the state, and you may have an Indigenous person or people living in a certain county, that doesn't include a reservation or tribal land. So you're
Mhm.
still representing Native Americans as a whole,
Mm.
even though you don't, represent a county or something that has a reservation on it.
Yeah, really good words there. Yeah, I got to see State Representative Heather Keeler. She was there working as always, and then also I got to talk to State Senator Mary Kunesh there. But a lot of the tribal leaders here in Minnesota that were there, and I'm going to try and check this out. But the chairman from Upper Sioux. And one of the things that's interesting about the Upper Sioux, there's 11 tribes here in Minnesota. And one of the things that are interesting about the Upper Sioux is they're not involved with the same things that all the other 10 tribes are. And it was really interesting, his speech. I got to grab that from YouTube and take a look at that again, because he was pretty rock solid in what he had to say. And it was all about sovereignty. And some of these things, whether it's cannabis or casinos, are chip away at our sovereignty too, and it's some really good points. Also, just wanted to give a shout out to our Irish friends out there, and our allies and our natives that are part Irish, and all those other things. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all, and yeah. So I just
Robert,
wanted.
you're not wearing your green. I wore green today.
Oh my
But yeah,
God.
I wanted to second that. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And shout out all of our, mixed relatives too. I got to shout out my grandpa, my mom's dad was Irish, and he served in the Air Force and had a big Irish last name. So I'm very thankful for that part of my culture as well.
Well, and then I was brought up in St. Paul, and all my friends were Irish Catholics, and so I got to give those guys a shout out too, and yeah. But we got Dr. Stately on today, which is always exciting, and what he has to say, and again, really appreciate him and you and all the people that really work hard for Native Roots Radio, because it's so funny. It's like Shannon Gishik, who's the head of the 11 tribes. She's like the facilitator of them with
the council,
NIAC, or and she was introducing me to other people, and people knew who I was, and it all has to do with this show. It's just amazing wherever we go.
Yeah, those community connections, they really do matter. And I want to talk about, we'll talk a little bit more about St. Patrick's Day, I think, later on in the show. And relating that, I know the Choctaw Nation had some history with them, and the potato famine and stuff. We can talk about some of that stuff. You mentioned seeing Representative Heather Keeler this weekend. I know, I saw Heather at the Akito Festival. Did you make it over to the 3-day tattoo festival in St. Paul?
Yes, I did. I was there Saturday. I missed you, but I saw the great tattoo that you got, and also saw the tattoo artist that was going to do it. I was a little concerned because this person had really thick glasses, and I went, "Well, last time I saw you, you didn't have any glasses." But it looks like a really beautiful wolf that you have on there. And
Hey, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I want to shout out Shannon Joyce, tattoo artist with Iktomi Tattoo in Minneapolis, for doing my tattoo. There were so many talented tattoo artists out there at the Akito Festival, which is Lakota Dakota word. And yeah, a lot of different tattoo vendors. I saw one girl, I totally blanking on her name. She traveled, she's a native tattoo artist and came out here from California. And they were doing certain tattoo contests at the end of each day. And she totally swept the floor with those awards. I think Saturday it was. She had a lot of awards.
Wow, that's crazy. I got to ask you too, because I know you have these kind of tattoos, but the not the original way, but the old-fashioned way of doing tattoos. I saw a couple of artists out there. What's that called again?
Yeah, so like traditional stick and poke tattooing. The one needle. Sometimes you can like attach it to like a wooden handle thing and tap it. I know some people do it like that, or just individual poking with your fingers with the needle. But yeah, I have some stick and pokes done, and it was by Leech Lake native Annie Humphrey.
Yeah,
she does very great work as well.
Does Annie do it freehand? Because this person that I was watching, this lady was doing freehand, and I was like going, wow.
Yeah, I think it totally depends. I think for one design she did use a little stencil, but you know, that's still really, really talented.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Different types of artworks, and it's like a trade. You know, you're an artist, but you're good at like a specific thing.
Yeah, Pacific Ocean. I mean, specific. Yeah. But so we missed each other again, but there was a awesome powwow at the Indian Center too.
Yeah, on Saturday, the Leech Lake Twin Cities office.
Yeah, it was. I had FOMO when I saw those pictures.
It looked rocking for sure.
Hey, up next we got Dr. Stately. Hopefully, I'm going to text him, make sure he's not taking a little midday nap like I do before the show. We'll get up there.
Those years. Elders.
Yeah, elder nap. Well, hey, you're listening to Native Roots Radio, and we're really glad you are, and we're going to be right back after this short break. Haley,
stay with us.
Wow. Stay with us.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Everyone knows I love Rudy Luther Toyota, but do you know who else loves Toyotas? Consumer Reports. They're out with their best of 2025 auto issue, and once again, it reads Toyota, Toyota, Toyota. Of the new 2025 models, Consumer Reports recommends the Prius, Corolla, Corolla Hybrid, the Camry, the Sienna, the Corolla Cross Hybrid, the RAV4, the RAV4 Hybrid, the Highlander, and the Highlander Hybrid. In almost every class, you'll find a Toyota. Find one for yourself at Rudy Luther Toyota, the southeast corner of 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
Have you considered a career in the museum field? The Minnesota Historical Society is now accepting applications for its Native American Museum Fellowship. The 10-week summer program is a mix of workshops, seminars, and hands-on internships at the Minnesota Historical Society. It is open to undergraduate students, recent graduates, and community scholars with an interest in museums and heritage studies. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NAI.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, we are here with our friend Dr. Stately, President and Executive Officer of Native American Community Clinic here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and our friend. And I've missed you. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in community for whatever reason, whether I'm not running around or you're not, but I've missed you a few times. It's really good to see you.
Thank you. Bonjour, everyone. Good to see you as well.
So, are you in a foreign?
I was out of
state
town.
now?
No, I was not in a foreign state. Well, I was in Washington, which I guess some people might consider a foreign state. It's so close to Russia, you know.
Yeah. Closer than I am right now.
You're right. But no, I was there for a week-long meeting, doing some things. So we had a convening for a grant that we have through NIH. The grant that supports our research center, our new research center. So I was there for that. And then I did some site visiting. I went to visit a tribal clinic up in Lummi Nation, which is right at the tip top of Washington, next to, hop, skip, and a jump over the border to British Columbia, in Vancouver, BC. Amazing clinic. I shouldn't have gone because as I was walking around, I was thinking of all the things I should have thought to put in my clinic that we're going to be having a groundbreaking here very soon on our new building. So, but it was a great visit. Amazing Native guy from Lummi Nation, who's the chief medical officer. We had some really great conversations about the work we do. And then I went to Seattle Indian Health Board, visit with them, and Urban Indian Health Institute. Downloaded some knowledge from them. They're awesome people. They're doing some really great work.
Cool. Did we hear something in the background there? It sounds like Tom and Jerry cartoons or something. Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm in a loud caribou, and I asked them if they could turn on the music, and they said no, they don't know how to. It's kind of remarkable, actually. I was like, well, when you leave, do you shut it off or do you let it play all night long? She goes, we're not supposed to touch it.
Oh, geez. Hey, so like I always want to honor my wife, and she always says, I always ask Dr. Stately what he wants to talk about. So I'm going to lead off with that, Dr. Stately. What do you got cooking? What are your feelings? We've seen the shock and awe the first 6-7 weeks, and now we all have to
God, yeah.
and fight back.
It's like quite remarkable. So actually, one thing I'm really happy about is, last week I got, I think on on Monday morning, I got a text message from one of my colleagues and friends that the HHS director had, and presumably she was a victim of Doge's efforts to get rid of everybody that's under probationary status. So Dr. Karina Walters, who is actually a former colleague of mine from the University of Washington Indigenous Wellness Research Institute, and we're old colleagues and old friends. She was her position at NIH in the Office of Tribal Health Research. So it's called THRO, THRO, Tribal Health Research Office. Under NIH, she was slated to be terminated from her position, which is shocking to me because, I don't know what their thought process was around DEI stuff or, all these kinds of things. A couple of days before that, I had gotten this text message from a friend of mine, which was an article in the Washington Post, I think, the 200 words that Trump and Musk were going to be looking at for to basically cancel any contracts and grants. And I'm looking at this long list of 200 and some words, and I'm like, the majority of them, probably about 90% of them, applied to NAC and all the work we do. Like Native Americans on the list, American Indians was on the list, tribal, health equity, all of the things, all in the list of things that you can't say anymore in your grant applications or on your websites and stuff like that. But I think one of the things that was really great was that myself and a colleague, really it was a colleague of mine, Katie Johnson Goodstar at the University of Minnesota, good friend, good colleague. We're on a project together. She said, "Do you think we should start a petition?" I said, "Absolutely, we should start a petition." So we started an online petition at change.org, and we got it disseminated across as many different networks as we possibly could. And within days, we had over 100 and some people responding to that issue. And by Thursday morning or Friday morning, we had heard that she had been reinstated. Thursday morning, I think, actually. And the reason that it was important to fight for that, and I went on NPR, the station we never talk about. It was by invitation. I should be clear. I didn't advocate for it. They asked me to speak. But I went on NPR and talked about why is it important to have somebody of that caliber leading that office at the office of NIH. So the Tribal Health Research Director, she sits between the director of NIH and also all of the different institutions across NIH, which is about, I think there's 8 or 9 of them. And she ensures that tribal health research that's happening in any one of those institutions is happening in a thoughtful, intentional, and culturally responsive way, and is aligning with the Indigenous research principles that have been established both here in the United States and also in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And so her role is critically important. We have a long history of having people research us and harmful practices and in different ways. Using our biological material for other things other than what they were intended to do. You remember that was a big, huge issue down in New Mexico a few years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was New Mexico. And I think one of the things that we don't think about is and they needed some education at that office, and the HHS director needed some education around the fact that we are not a racial category, we're a political status.
Right.
And there's responsibilities that the federal government have to Native people in exchange for land that was either ceded or unceded territories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that are, so it's just kind of it's frustrating that we have to do those kinds of things, but I was really happy that we were able to get my colleague successfully reinstalled in her position, because it's a critically important position to have, protecting the integrity of research and making sure it's done responsibly in our communities is of the utmost importance. So that was a major win. I was really excited about that.
Yeah. We got to take those, because I think, definitely our show is called I'm Awake, and we have to stay awake, and they're counting on us being passive about this. And I think that's, and it's hard physically and mentally to not be passive about this.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really important that we are at the place where we have to realize every single person who is of voting age needs to be sort of in the conversations. And even if you're not in voting age, if you're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, or 17, and you're about to become voter eligible in the next 3 to 4 years, you have to be in these conversations. You have to understand what's going on. He's doing. Him and his administration are doing everything that they possibly can to strip away basic human rights, and specifically within tribal communities, he's already implemented quite damaging policies already, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't feel them now because they haven't been completely and fully enacted, but we're going to feel them in 6 to 12 months.
Exactly.
And people should be waking up. I think that you see these polls all over the United States, and different media outlets are talking about, his President Trump 6 weeks, 8 weeks into office. He's got the lowest approval ratings he's had in both terms, and he also, 18% to 20% of the population is not happy with him, or less. Only 20% are about half. I think he's doing a good job. The rest of them are really unhappy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He promised them groceries are going to be less expensive. The cost of living is going to be less expensive. Promised all these things, and he's not worked on any of those things. In fact, actually, things have gone up considerably and significantly in the last 8 weeks. So people should be paying attention to what he does and not what he says, because what he says is a bunch of BS, and what he does is, he's a snake oil salesmen
Right.
that would go
Yep.
through our tribal communities and sell all kinds of different stuff to us, and
Right.
and that he's the same thing that you were dealing with them, 200-300 years ago. It hasn't changed.
Exactly. Well, he wants to crap the economy so that he can go into martial law and all those things, and we just have to stay awake and make sure that that doesn't happen. And so
Yeah.
having somebody like you on and talking about real issues where
Yeah.
you actually push back and successfully.
I was at this convening this week, and one of my colleagues in the convening said there was somebody that asked her a question, and it was Linnaeus Baker. She's from Turtle Mountain. She works at Seattle Indian Health Board and Urban Indian Health Institute now. And they asked her a question, and she said, "How are you getting through this period?" And she said, and she did remark. She said, "I know that a lot of people are really freaking out." She goes, "But here at Seattle Indian Health Board and here at in Urban Indian Health Institute, we're good. We're feeling quite calm." And I think one of the things that was really important was to recognize, like the way I said it to some people that asked me is like, we've been up against bigger and harder issues in our history as Native people. We can do this, but we got to pull together and we got to be really, really strategic in the things that we do. We can't sit back, just let things happen. We got to be outspoken. We got to talk loud, and we got to hold people responsible.
Absolutely. Hey, Dr. Stately, can you hang with us for another segment?
Sure.
Right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back. And I am awake, Haley.
Yes, stay with us.
You may not think of it, but winter is a great time to take care of those exterior home projects. This is Chad, owner of AM 950 for Snap Construction. Most people wait until the warmer months for their exterior home projects, but labor costs are actually lowest in the winter. And that's true for the contractor I trust, Snap Construction. Arguably the most well-reviewed exterior contractor and insulation contractor in the metro. Are you noticing ice dams on your house? Or is your furnace constantly running and you're still not comfortable? In addition to your exterior home projects, winter is also a great time to get your insulation checked with a free energy audit from Snap Construction. The average cost to upgrade your insulation is oftentimes less than a new furnace. Plus, there are rebates available from your energy provider when you upgrade your insulation. As always, Snap Construction stands by their work with a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. So don't wait for prices to rise in the warmer months. Get a free estimate now by calling 612-333-SNAP, 612-333-SNAP, or go to snapconstruction.com.
Are your remote workers putting your company at risk? Not sure what steps to take to secure your data? Hi, Mark Sommerfeld from Rymark. The Rymark team is guiding our clients through these difficult times. In fact, demand has been so high, we created an easy-to-follow guide with the 5 steps to securely work from home. It's yours free. Download our 5 steps to securely work from home now at rymarkit.com or call 651-328-8900 for a no-cost how-to discussion.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. Even though Auto Technical is a small nonprofit, we have helped more families with transportation than any organization in Minnesota. Since '94, we have reconditioned donated vehicles so they have a higher tax benefit. Call Richard at 612-919-5526, 612-919-5526, or autotech.org.
Peace of mind shouldn't cost a fortune. We keep things simple at Schroman Law because we believe planning for your estate and end-of-life care shouldn't be stressful or expensive. Every client relationship starts with a free consultation so clients have the information they need before making important decisions. From there, we work closely with clients to ensure they are choosing the most efficient and cost-effective plans for their specific needs. Schedule a free consultation today at schromanlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
Hi, I'm Peter Solak.
And I'm Adam Ostrowski.
We are here at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces to talk about the joy of live fire cooking. Cooking over a live fire is the oldest and most basic form of cooking.
What's new is in the way fire is handled and its heat is managed.
It's easier to experience and enjoy the smell and taste of food cooked over a live fire.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces sells and installs live fire grills, fire pits, and ovens. Let us help you experience the smell, the taste, the fun of cooking with fire.
Pizza was first made and is still best made in an open fire oven. The radiant and conductive heat of a live fire is unmatched for wood roasting and baking artisan breads too.
Come see the many ways you can cook over a live fire.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood and gas units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. More information at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that works for you. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 34. Then on Tuesday, partly sunny with a high of 52. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina city line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us. ATNF AM 950, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, we are here with Dr. Stately, President and Executive Officer of Native American Community Clinic. And Dr. Stately, here in my notes, it seemed NAC is partnering with Minnesota Indian Women's Resource with some things to host an empowering mom support group. And this is bi-weekly on Fridays. That's magic.
Yeah, it's a new thing we're doing with MIWC in partnership with them. It really is part of expanding our capacity to be able to support Native women who have children or who are pregnant and parenting. We have a whole host of things that we're doing around maternal and child health. We have an expanded maternal and child health program in the clinic this year that we've been launching. We've got funded through a couple of different federal grants. And that includes a bunch of things that we already have been doing, which we've been able to expand into that population. But we also launched the First Gifts program. We launched it in partnership with Children's Hospital, which it kind of went a little bit by the side for a while during the pandemic. And then we have one of our board members works at Children's Hospital, and she reached out and said, "Hey, is this something that you guys think you guys can take on?" And we said, "We can take it on as long as it's a partnership between us and a few other people, Children's Hospital, and also we've been doing that program now for about a year." This coming April, I forget. I think I want to say April 16th. Is it April 16th that our baby shower is? I think you have the flyer. Haley has the flyer probably. But we're having a baby shower. We have an annual baby shower every single year. And at that baby shower, we give out moccasins, baby moccasins that were made for all of the women who have given birth between last April and this April. So they'll come to the baby shower. They get a pair of moccasins. They get a whole bunch of other things. We got all kinds of things that we give pregnant and parenting mothers to support them. And that work is supported through a bunch of other things that we do. NAC is part of the Birthing Justice Collaborative, or collective rather, that is involves NAC, Division of Newark, and also MIWC and Minnow Visiting Clinic. And we're in the process of doing a number of big, huge initiatives. One of the things that we're working on right now, collaboratively with them all, is the planning for an American Indian Birthing Center. And that process is moving along quite nicely. We've gotten some new staff from the community that are going to help us with the next phase of the planning process. Mm-hmm. And we were able to do that because we were able to secure a $368,000 award from the state Senate last year, or the state legislature rather, to fund the planning for the American Indian Birthing Center. We're hoping that in the next 2 years we are able to secure additional resources to identify and embark, on the actual creation of the American Indian Birthing Center. And one of the things that would be significantly amazing about that, if we can get it off the ground, and we'll find a way to get it off the ground, but it would be the first Indigenous or Native American birthing center in the United States ever.
Wow.
None exists currently right now in the United States.
Wow.
So, and we want to do that because we know that, maternal and child health rates and death and mortality rates in the Twin Cities in the county of Hennepin, and also across the entire state of Minnesota, quite frankly, are some of the worst health outcomes in any other population. And so we know that giving women, Native women, American Indian women, tribal women, Indigenous women, the opportunity to have an alternative method or an alternative or additional support that's embedded in our traditional practices, birthing practices, and our healing ways will support them in that process. It's filling a very large crack in the healthcare system that's really critical to our children and to our families and to our community. So pretty excited about that work.
Really excited. Dr. Stately, too, the Native American Community Clinic is hosting another community baby shower on Saturday, April 12th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Little Earth Gym in Minneapolis. That's 2501 Cedar Avenue. And
you got to come. It's a really fun event.
I got to get my daughter to come with her little twins.
Do it. Yes. She'll get a pair of baby moccasins for each one of them.
Right on. And any
and we usually every single year we make a little like special swaggy thing, for the babies, a little onesie, which is pretty cool. And the ones this year will have our new logo on it. So you saw the flyer earlier. That's our brand new logo that we just rolled out in February on our 22nd birthday.
That's awesome. I can't wait for a big old T-shirt and hoodie with that logo on. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll have to raise more funding, but for that, but it is pretty cool. So I think the last thing I want to just tell people about is like we're close to closing our capital campaign, are coming close to closing, and we will be hosting a ground blessing ceremony primarily just for staff and our board here in the next few days. But we'll also be hosting a ground breaking and celebration ceremony for the new building in April, and invitations will be sent out to all of the people that invested in the clinic and the funding and helping us pass bills and all those kinds of things that got the funding close for our new building. We're really excited about that. It's building a lot of excitement and momentum. So.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. This has been a thing that you've dreamt of, and it's happening, and groundbreaking, and that makes it real. And it's great here at Native Roots Radio that we've been.
Yeah. I mean,
a little brick with our name on somewhere. Oh, wow.
We're gonna sell bricks for like $100 each or something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll get one for Haley too.
Yeah, for you, we'll probably give you a really good deal, like 2 for $300 or something like that.
You got change for a 20? Oh,
no. I mean, it is quite amazing to see it all. Like today, I met with all the designers. We're going over, a lot of the designing, all the stuff that's the fun stuff, not the actual building itself, but the colors of the floor and the colors of the walls and all the artwork that's going to be on it. And, I'm really excited because we're working with some really great people in the community around the art and the design. Our architect on record, the lead architect is Sam Albertson from Post Circle Indigenous Planning. Just an amazing group of people who have helped us bring this vision for this new clinic and this new healing space to fruition. And the building will be 2 floors of clinic and 4 floors of housing above to provide supportive and affordable housing for unsheltered relatives that are living in the community that need support. They'll be able to get their healthcare right there in that building. We are creating a unique model of healthcare and housing that is not seen anywhere else in the country. I think we're the only FQHC that's actually done a clinic with a housing component embedded in the actual same building. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I know we've been talking about this for a long time, and it's just so beautiful to see this come to fruition. And our community not only needs Native American Community Clinic, but uses it. And it's really exciting to see this happen. And, big power to you and all the people that helped you out with this.
Oh, thank you.
And all the people.
I'm just the figurehead at the top of the thing, trying to bark loud and get a lot of money for it. But, I can't do I could not do what I do without having the most amazing staff. I tell everybody that I think I have the most amazing staff on the planet. They're just amazing people. very dedicated. They have good hearts. Do they make mistakes? Of course, everybody makes mistakes. But there isn't a human being on the planet that isn't perfect, right? And so, but they, they have good hearts and they give everything that they have to the work they do. And every single day, I'm grateful to be in the position I'm in. Not for any of the accolades, but I'm grateful that I get to do something meaningful and important to that it has an actual impact on my community, the place that I was born and raised. And this I tell people, this is my love letter to the community. It's my love letter to the people who raised me into the man I am. I owe this to them, right?
Right on.
They propped me up when I was down, and I'm gonna do everything I can to benefit them.
Absolutely. Well, I know Haley and I are wondering the important question about, groundbreaking is if that inflatable colon will be there.
Yeah, the walking colon.
No, sorry.
Oh,
sorry. I'll send it to your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah. I think Haley's got a bigger backyard.
I think we're gonna try. So one of the things that a lot of people don't know, so I'll mention this in case some local people are listening. We're gonna be building our new building in the parking lot, in front of our parking lot, right on Franklin Avenue, on the American Cultural Corridor. And I think one of the things I would say is that, it's likely that, that big, huge open house we have every single year in our parking lot, likely not to happen this summer or next summer because we'll be building our brand new building. So trying to figure out where we can have our open house. We're probably going to partner with Minneapolis American Indian Center. Probably be a little bit more like a health fair. So never know, the Rolling Polling could show up over there. So just keep your eyes closed.
Yeah, we can get selfies again, Haley.
There you go.
Need a new one.
I think I snapped a picture of you rubbing one of those nodules on it at some point in time.
Yes.
Oh god,
Going,
delete that one.
Yeah, reminding me of going again because I had some of those babies that were non-cancerous and they wiped them out right away. And it's interesting when you are under and you're half under. And I was telling stories and everything and watching this and it's amazing. Everyone go out and get their colon checked for real.
I mean, I would tell you that one of the most important things that we can do as Indigenous people is to go to our primary care doctors, whether that's NAC, Community Health Board, wherever your primary care doctor is and go and get those health screenings and those things that you need to do to make sure that you are on top of things like colon cancer, breast cancers. The cancers are one of the things that are impact us greatly. We end up finding out we have cancer when we're so far along that we almost die faster than any other population. The other thing I'm going to encourage people to do is get your kids vaccinated for measles and all these other things, right? We're seeing all across the country these big, huge measles outbreaks. And when vaccinations for measles and things like that fall below the 95 or 90th percentile, that something like measles is highly, highly contagious. It'll take people out in the community very rapidly. We've already had 5 or 6 deaths across the United States of young people who have died from measles, which is completely, completely preventable.
Exactly. Dr. Stately, thank you so much for coming on. You're a rock star and great things happening in Minneapolis, and we really appreciate you and you coming on every week.
Me great. I appreciate it. Take care. You guys
be
well.
Hey, we'll be right back, Haley.
Yeah, this is Native Roots Radio. Stay with us. The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune into Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Your heart beats for generations.
Your heart is so many things. It beats all the time, and it works very hard to keep you moving through your day, keeping your thoughts clear. It's the most important organ in your body.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. Taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats. That's hennepin.us/heart-beats.
When we heal from our traumas,
when we face our fears,
let go of our addictions,
when we relearn our values,
when we live our teachings,
respecting our elders,
cherishing and honoring our children,
when we honor and take care of our spirit,
there will be no room left for sexual violence.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Your heart beats for generations. Take care of it.
There's a lot that we can do to take care of ourselves. And so I think it's important to take the smaller steps and break it down into more manageable pieces, because the little steps leads to big changes.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. For Indigenous women, taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Let's protect that story. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats.
Anine, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunts.
Ooh, good one. Hey, Haley, it's kind of fun. I started another LLC. I need more to do, right? But it's called Native Wazua Supplies, and I won't get into that. But Wazua means fun times, and it's like in Ho-Chunk, and we should like do a word of the day or a word of the week and try and use it all the time during the show, unless it's super serious, because I don't want to, like when Dr. Stately was talking, I don't want to say Wazua.
Or like Dallas Gold too. So he's like Hoka Hicha Wicha. His always make me laugh. His little bumpers.
They do.
We could do Ho-Chunk word. I was thinking about the wolves with that little intro read with the wolf population. Do you know the Ho-Chunk word for wolf?
No.
Shunk chunk.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wolf.
You know what? That's awesome. And then maybe we can use that during this week's show sometime, or once. But you know what I really like is, your native name has eagle in it, and I love the way eagle is pronounced.
Yeah. So in eagle, in Ho-Chunk, we say chashep.
Yeah.
And it's spelled CAA, I think, or maybe CASCEP. But yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and say your name again.
Okay.
Or wait, introduce yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
You do that so well.
I haven't done it in a while, so I may mess up, but I'll say
Well, this is live, it'll just go away after it's done.
Okay. Hinanch, Hikaragiwi, Ho-Chunk Raja, Chasha Pewangawaning Kingaide. And he said, hello, I greet you all. The Ho-Chunk name they call me is Little Eagle Princess.
Nice. And I always just say the quick one is like Ahu Ho-Chunk Raja Wakunja Hade Hinga Dena. Says I'm Ho-Chunk and I'm Distant Thunder. We could do this all day.
Learning the language is always something I want to, do more of. And
well, we got to try and start hitting that Wednesday group.
I know they do language here in St. Paul. Really, really, really grateful that they do that. Since we're talking Ho-Chunk, I want to shout out the Ho-Chunk Founders Day powwow is coming up on March 29th, which is a Saturday, and that'll be at the La Crosse Center in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Admission is free for the Ho-Chunk Founders Day powwow. Grand entry times are noon and 7 p.m. that Saturday.
Awesome. Hey, and the Founders Day is March 19th.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that more on Wednesday, but
coming up.
Amazing that our relatives thought so far in advance. And I believe it's 1964 that they started the Winnebago tribe of Wisconsin incorporated, and of course changed the name back in the 90s to Ho-Chungala, which, Ho-Chunk is people the sacred voice, and
yeah, or the sacred voice or the big voice.
Right. I always like saying sacred, but you're right.
I like to say both. Sacred, big voice.
I like to say sacred around other natives, It's like, we're very sacred. Well, how about you?
Yeah, I love us Ho-Chunks. I'm excited to hopefully see our Ho-Chunk sister Arvina Martin. I know she was talking about making the drive out there to La Crosse, so maybe we can see her.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to go down there. It's only a couple-hour drive from, the Twin Cities, so
Yeah, just past Winona a bit there and then traveling across the St. Croix River.
did you know that Winona means first daughter? And I'm not sure if it's Ojibwe or Dakota. It must be Ojibwe,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not sure which one, but yeah, it does mean that. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also my high school teacher, and this is way off subject, Haley, sorry. I'm not following the script here. This is way off subject, but my high school art teacher was Winona Ryder's uncle.
Oh,
So
really?
she was born in Winona, Minnesota, and that's how she got the name Winona.
That's right. Yeah. I only know that because I think senior year of high school, I applied for Winona University and then did a little tour down there. A little too small for me. So
Yeah.
Golden Gopher I was.
That's right. You're big time. You're either up in Duluth or here in the Twin Cities, right?
Yeah, I was a UMD Bulldog my freshman year. Yep. I love Duluth. Any chance to go up to see Lake Superior, Gichigami is good time.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always stuff going on up there too. So that's a good call too. That's a short trip here from the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Or a
And
short trip to everywhere, I think.
yeah, it's cool being in the Twin Cities and just a little hop and a skip away. And I want to mention too, since the weather's getting warmer and
Yeah.
I don't know, we might get some more snow coming this Wednesday. Who knows? It's
Yeah,
Minnesota in March,
right.
so just
Well,
gonna
when
say
I
that.
was a softball player, really into it, the league would start in May, and I remember it snowing in May. So
Yeah, it could
it's
be.
definitely gonna snow again.
Yeah, well, if you can get out there before the snow comes again, I was taking a walk, I think it was yesterday, and just so much litter along
Mm.
our trailways, our walkways, our walking paths, and even
Mhm.
bike paths. I think it was even along the train tracks, just so much garbage. And I remember it's
Mm.
usually every springtime, but we do some non-native, or we do native nonprofit organizations that help clean up certain
Mhm.
areas in Minneapolis and St. Paul. So if you're able to get out there and get a garbage bag, definitely I'd recommend wearing gloves if you're picking up any glass or
Right.
sharps, metals, and
Needles.
stuff like that. Learned the hard way last year picking some of that stuff
Mm.
up. But yeah, if you can, it's a good way to get outside, be in nature, take care of the environment, our waterways, and get some exercise. Get your steps in. Make it a fun thing. Bring your
Wow,
friends.
really good call, and I know this year because last year was such a crazy, time for the Mississippi River being high for so long.
Yep.
Now it's gonna be super low, Haley, but, I know, the same thing. There's stuff
Mhm.
floating. The
Yeah.
river gets high, people that have campfires that leave their beer cans and
Oh.
stuff, all of a sudden, the river's high and it's floating in the river. I know Wendy always, you'll get to see this year. Wendy always has, like a fishing net and it's picking up trash as we go down the
Mm.
river.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Walk along those shorelines, even our
Mhm.
lakes, our rivers. Even with the water down, you can see a lot of that trash that, was maybe floating on the shoreline under the water that's now just sitting,
Yeah, and
on the land
and
that
if you
needs to
fi
be picked up.
and if you find an Indian arrowhead, give it to me. I first dibs, it
Right. Well, I wanna since it's still St. Patrick's Day, we got a couple minutes left here on
Go
the
for
show.
it. Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out the kind of like the relationship between the Irish and us natives kind of go back all
Yeah.
the way to the Great Famine. And this was an article by Native News Online. It was written by Neely Bardwell, who is a descendant of the Little Traverse Bay band of Odawa Indians. Sorry if
Mhm.
I said that incorrectly. But she talked about the relationship goes back to like 1845 through 1852, and the Irish people were experiencing a potato famine.
Yep.
And during that time, a disease poisoned the Irish's potato crops, which caused mass starvation and death within their population. And the Irish population decreased by like 20 to 25%.
Mm.
And because of this, the Choctaw people, Native Americans here, decided to do what they could to assist the Irish. In 1847, they sent $170, which is close to $5,000 in today's dollars,
Mhm.
across the Atlantic Ocean through a group of Quakers. The money was used to help feed the starving people in Ireland, even though the Choctaw people had been forced off of their land through the Trail of Tears. They still did what they could help, and the Irish were eternally grateful and still express their gratitude in many ways today. They helped a lot of tribes here in the United States during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I know in 2017, there's a sculpture in Middleton, Ireland that was created. It's called Kindred Spirits. I think I have a picture. I could put it up, but
It's so cool. Oh, that's a
yeah.
really cool picture in the sunset or must be sunset.
Yeah, but yeah, really pretty. So just kind of going back, and we're good allies. So I want to shout out good happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone.
Yeah, really, really great to bring that up and bring that up every year, Haley. That's totally. We have relatives all over the world, and they haven't forgot the Choctaws, and so that's really cool. Hey, remember, resist. Listen to the news and resist what's going on out there. Do not set down. We're still here. We are the 7th generation, and this has been Native Roots Radio.
Signing up for $1 bus and train